first question will go to Mr. Bach. The question is, why are you the best candidate to represent District 3 on the Chatham County Board of Commissioners?
Let's start with looking at the facts. Commissioner Lucier talked about progress that we've made and being good stewards of our tax dollars. Well, my background is finance. I'm a certified financial planner, a chartered financial analyst. I manage about $300 million of personal money and foundation money. So I understand how to manage money. So Commissioner Lucier asked us to look at the facts. The fact is our spending has been out of control for at least the last 5, probably the last 10 years in relation to our population. I talk about how our spending has increased at about 6 times our population growth rate. And generally, when a government spends money, it should be in order to provide services to an expanding population. So it might be easier if you look at this chart. The yellow represents expanded growth in our spending, whereas that blue line represents our population growth rate. So what you'll see is the population growing, and then those last 4 or 5 years, you see our expenditures have gone up significantly. What people are asking me is, where's that money going? And hopefully as we get through the rest of this evening, you're going to hear ideas where we can reduce spending without reducing services. And I think my financial background is going to be one of those areas that we can bring to the Board of Commissioners to provide positive change to the Board of Commissioners.
Well, I'm not a so-called scientific, financial expert. I'm a scientist, and I take scientific approaches to problem solving. That's to identify the problem, identify the options, get all the information, work through with all the public input that you need to make that decision and make a decision. So at the end of the day, when people see what's been done, they know they've been a part of it and they bought into it. I did run the largest toxicology research and testing program in the country, and I know how to manage money. Actually, I manage a budget that's larger than the budget of Chatham County. And you know what? We never went over budget. I'm also a staunch supporter of education. I'm on the Board of Trustees of the Community College, and the Community College is absolutely essential to our economic development plans because it provides an opportunity for us to train local citizens to get good paying jobs in Chatham County. Our community college was just named one of the top 50 community colleges in this entire nation by Washington Monthly magazine. They said a lot of four-year colleges can learn something about education from these 50 community colleges. Leadership is incredibly important. Leadership is a combination of vision, getting the job done, and carrying it to fruition. I'm a relentless finisher. That's what my wife tells me. By the way, my wife, Jane, and my 2 children are here today, teenagers, by the way. One just escaped from UNC, the other is a junior at Northwood. And I'm glad to have you both here. But leadership means working together, and that's what I've tried to do. That's what I've tried to do with the elected boards, the Board of Education. That's why we got this award. That's why our school system is improving. That's why we have the best working relationship with the school board that this county has seen in a long time. We also work together with the sheriff. We have a crime rate in this county that's 1/2 the state average, whether you look at property crimes, whether you look at violent crimes. Now, a lot of the credit goes to Richard Webster, but a lot of the credit goes to the fact that he and the Board of Commissioners have worked together to identify issues and carry through with solutions. We, for example, we had to hire 4 positions when we had the jailbreak to make sure that our jail was secure. We just worked through to hire a gang prevention officer because it's far better to prevent crime than it is to cause it. And working together is the answer to leadership, and that's why I think you should vote for me this November. Thank you.
Mr. Lucier, consistently talks about education, and I think that is appropriate. My microphone's apparently not as loud as everybody else's. And that's appropriate, and we need to be talking about education. He talks about how the schools are getting better. Again, I look at the facts, and I'm assuming that Mr. Lucier has done the same. When I look at SAT scores, I see that in fact they have declined over the last couple of years. When I look at reading scores, they have declined over the last few years. When I look at math scores, I see that they have declined. Again, let's look at the facts. The red line represents Chatham County, and this is the SAT scores. I'll be happy to show these to you later. The fact that that's going down means it's a negative number. If you look at this chart, it's critical reading score. Again, the red line is going down. That's not a direction that we want to continue. We've got math, it's the same situation. So let's look at the numbers. Let's not worry about getting accolades and getting awards for giving money to the Board of Education. Let's
No, excuse me.
Don't get into it, don't get into it.
He didn't get a chance.
I will do.
Question?
All right, 1 minute rebuttal.
Thank you.
Change the rules.
That's all right.
We're not changing the rules. So these are the rules that we established. It was a 1 minute rebuttal for each on the moderator questions. I brought with me the budget. When we took office, the county budget was $76 million. The budget that we approved this last year was $84 million, an $8 million increase, which is less than the population growth. The previous Board of Administration took a $48 million, previous Board of Commissioners, the one that preceded my election, took a $48 million budget and turned it into a $76 million budget. So all the increase that Mr. Bach is talking about was the previous Board of Commissioners. He should be criticizing them and lauding us if he really believed in financial responsibility.